about their home. I love my little fishy as they swim about their home. When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. Peace that comes from watching my fishies as they swim about their home. My heart is happy and I am content to sit and watch them swim. I will not be alone while these fishies are in my home. When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty and feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home.
Well, hello. Nice to be with you. Happy to see everyone. Time to have a wonderful evening. Thinking about Dina. She is not feeling well. She's sick with cancer. Gonna continue on supporting her and encouraging each other and having a wonderful time.
Father fish, father fish.
Please.
The one place to go to if you have Vic, your fish may itch, or even flash. So Father Fish is your one-stop cap. Capital with an inch of sand. Capital with an inch of sand. Raise the temperature with a helping hand. And add some garlic on top of that sand. The ick will go, your plants will grow, and all of your fish will have a happy home. Father Fish, so Father Fish, your one-stop wonder if you keep fish. Starring Sir Father Fish and all his followers on the Father Fish channel. Over to you, Sir Father Fish.
Well, goodness sakes, there's all that. Oh, there's more. There's so much more. You know, the great. I really ought to do this. Such great fun. Years ago, when I had my shop in Venice, Naresh, who lives in Sri Lanka, a young man, made a video and he scoured the web for pictures and presented this as a gift. It came absolutely out of the blue. I'm going to play this song and give you an idea of just what the old Father Fish store looked like.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been.
There's the original.
Toast to the ones that today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back those. There's a time that I remember. Cause I did not know the pain. When I believed in forever. Everything will stay the same. Now I hope you like December. Can somebody say your name? Cause I can't reach out to call you. I know good one day. Yeah. Everybody hurts sometimes. Everybody hurts someday.
My mother.
Everything will be alright. Only the blessing will say. Yeah. Here's to the ones that we got. Here's to the wish you were here tonight. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones in the night. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so low. No felt all the hatred, just a God for a star. And my heart feel like an ember, and it's not enough to die. I carry these torches for you, but you know I'll never try. Yeah, everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Everything gon' be alright, only the blessing will say. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here tonight. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones in today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories. Memories bring back, memories bring back.
All right. Goodness. Let's see. What do I need to do here? Oh, right. There we go. Oh dear. Yeah, lost track of what I was doing. Well, welcome all. We had somebody here for a moment and I guess they went away. Well, hopefully they'll be back. We are doing show and tell tonight, so you're all very welcome to join us. We're going to be showing off tanks. As I mentioned, Dina will not be here tonight. She's feeling very sick. She's significantly under the weather. She had surgery earlier in the week on her mouth. They're installing implants, I guess. And it's just really struggling with it. She's had a very rough couple of days and is on medication, but it's just kind of knocked out from the meds and the struggle of it all and so forth. So keeping her in our minds and hearts, and hopefully she'll be back with us in pretty short order. Let's see. So Stan Pittman, Andrew Fenna, the Lynn Chase is here. Apparently you did not win any of the auctions. I know you kept bidding, but I guess you didn't win anything Wednesday night. Um, we did get everything out that was bid on. Hopefully it's all been received by now. Cecil Mayberry, Brenton Lightcap is here. 3G Chew, Cecil Mayberry, Christian B, Frederick Handroval, Ray Contosh, Rogerio Lima, Daniel Ingalls, Kim Minnie, Tarnay BG, ZX9R. I did send you an invoice, CX9R. You should have gotten an invoice from me. I'll be sure to take care of that in the morning. Thank you for mentioning it. It would have come as an invoice from the Fatherfish Shopify. Prayers for Dina, Kim Minnie, James Green. ZX9R he won 2 bids, lives in England, so we could not ship the fish to him, but he decided to make a gift of them to the 2 people who initiated the bidding on each of the items, which was just really an excellent idea, a wonderful and generous gift, and something that those 2 people very much appreciated. Neil says, but wait, there's more. Oh, there is. There's so much more. There is a list of music and poetry on my homepage, my YouTube homepage. It's the bottom list, and it contains about 50 songs and poems and just all sorts of things, and which is where these are all located that I played for you this evening. So that and lots more. A lot of thanks. I thought I had a lot. Did you? Who is she talking about? I don't know. The Jerry's Aquatics, Fish Fam Link, Private YouTuber, Committee, Doom Pie. I know. And you tried so hard. Let's see. Sircon Bay. Hello from Turkey. Nice to have you with us. Art of Critters. We need to get Art of Critters a wrench. Turn you blue. And all right. See what's going on. The book is getting very close. I'm sorry I'm messing with my nose. I think I'm getting, I have an allergy. I'm pretty sure. It doesn't feel like a cold. It's just kind of a mild congestion, and I'm sneezing a lot. A little stuffy. It clears up and then it gets worse. I'm pretty sure that there's pollen or something in the air that's causing allergies to be set off. I really haven't done any allergy medication to speak of. Let's try this. Ooh. Oh, that burns. What is this? I don't even know what it is. Clear something. I'm going to have to send it again, I guess. Because I did send it, but I'll do it again. Alex Novello. What experience I have crossbreeding fish, mollies, and guppies? Really none. I've the only crossbreeding I've done has been with like um, Malawi cichlids, all of which interbreed. Um, not Malawis, not mollies and guppies. Not different species. I've never crossed species of anything. I've done inbreeding and some crossbreeding, but it's been like color morphs and that kind of thing. I've never really, to my knowledge, had any interspecies breeding going on. That'll wake me up. Yeah, it feels like it. That was a blast. Same here, congested, itchy nose and throat. It's not in my throat at all. It's just in my sinus, which I'm happy about. It can stay there until it's gone. This morning it was gone. Um, and then it kind of came back with the runny nose. I stick my nose in different places and I get a reaction. So I'm pretty sure it's it's an allergy, an allergic reaction. And this is a season for allergies in the fall when there's a lot of dust, not pollen. It's not a pollen thing at all. It's just, I think, a lot of dust. Um, the leaves are falling, so they're releasing all kinds of. The trees are releasing all of the accumulated dirt and dust from the summer. Alex Novello, did I give you a wrench? No, I did not. It's had you as a moderator. Darn wire. Hey, hey. Ragweed. Well, that's certainly possible. Leaf mold. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. Stop sticking my nose where it doesn't belong. I know. I never know though. I walked in the kitchen. I've got a bunch of plants on the windowsill there, and the window I think was open, so I got a hit of something there. Leaf mold. Brenda has a nasal inhaler. Thank you, Brenda. I will greatly appreciate that. Brenda is the woman who's in charge of our plant department. She keeps all the plants, orders them, tracks them, keeps them healthy, packs them up, and ships them out. Really remarkable. She's just absolutely amazing. Stan Pittman is here. Stan, I don't know. There we are. There he is. Hi, Stan.
What's happening, Father?
How are you?
Good.
Oh, how pretty.
Got a couple of new. This is the Lilia Perugia.
Is that a 39 gallon, a 4-foot wide tank? I lost him. I've been having trouble with my signal here. I think
There we
this
go.
is,
I got
yeah.
terrible internet.
Well,
Set up
it's one of the two of us. I've been having trouble too. So it's likely to be me as
Delta Brothers.
you.
Just set it up this morning. You know, anyway, I found a Chester doors at a garage sale.
Oh yeah.
Painted it, put it in here. I needed a place just to put food and extra stuff. And worked out pretty neat.
The bureau? Yeah, I've got bureaus too. I really like putting tags on bureaus. It gives you a lot of storage space.
Yeah, I just had I don't know, like a bin in another room. It's kind of inconvenient.
Right.
But that middle bowl, I was sitting at Walmart in the markdown section. I think I paid $5 for that thing.
I know, it's amazing. Isn't it?
Better Homes and Garden.
Right.
And the other new one
What a gorgeous fish room.
is Cuban banded limia.
Oh, really?
I'm going to get them. I'm going to move them over to the rack at some point, but
Cool.
pretty cool. And the white guppies that I got at an auction.
Okay. Now that's the same tank I've got here. That 39-gallon, 4 foot long, 12 inches tall.
They're not predating at all.
Nice. Doompai is saying that ragweed is bothering people in the Netherlands. That's probably about what it is. It is really beautiful room, isn't it? We're Stan is, we're not keeping him up real well. He's I think we've lost him actually. Seems to be gone. Call him back up when you can, Stan. We he went dead on us. Beautiful, beautiful fish room. The blind fish keeper. Goodness sakes. Well, I'm happy to see you. I met the blind fish keeper 3 years ago at Aquashella in Orlando. He came by the YouTube table and we had a chance to chat. I think I did a feature on him a little bit before that. He's legally blind and keeps fish, which I think is remarkable. Do you still have fish? Honey garlic is good for colds. Yeah, I'm not feeling it as a cold. It's just, so far, it's just in my sinuses. And I hope that's where it stays, that it doesn't get any worse than that. How much substrate would I use for a 3-gallon? I would probably do half an inch of dirt and an inch of sand. That would be adequate. Half inch of mixed soil and a full inch of sand. The internet got you. I think it did, Stan. Erie says, "Are you actually blind? How does that work?" Well, his wife is with him, and I don't know. He has a little bit of vision, I guess. No, he doesn't. He says, "I'm completely blind. Don't see anything. Still find my way around my tanks. Do almost every bit of the work myself." Absolutely remarkable. You really inspire me, because I have imagined that if I lost my sight, that would be the end of the hobby for me. I probably would become more maintenance involved. I don't know. It would be interesting because it would become a tactile experience, and I probably would get very, very physical with my tanks if that happened. I don't know. I can't even imagine. Just remarkable. Nice to see you and nice to have you with us. It's been a long time since we've been in communication. So really happy to see you. Heaven's Angels. Art of Critters. Not everyone who's blind has zero vision. Yeah, true enough. He says he's completely blind, however. Let's see. Lush and Salty. Hello, Lush and Salty. If you have not seen Lush and Salty's channel, do post your link. It's a remarkable channel. He does some really, enjoyable videos, a lot of fun. He's I would say an aggressive fish keeper, in that all of his tanks are just very strong and healthy and kind of powerful in their own way. Just really impressive stuff. This is, let's see, Daguerre's Aquatics. Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Pretty good. Not too bad.
Show us what you're doing here.
Oh, so this right here are my blue tail giddies. I have a colony of them. I started with 6 and now I have hundreds.
Oh my
Literally.
word! Look at that! Wow.
And then these are like the second generation. They're offspring. I often have to separate the females. Sometimes males die in here. It's always better to have more male live
Get up
bearers.
real tight. I want to see the color pattern on them. Oh, they are quite nice, aren't they?
Yeah, the males that are blue have blue in their
Blue,
tails.
yeah, yeah. Wow, how neat.
Okay, I've got a lot going on. And then over here are their fry. I keep like fry.
And you
Like
have what's that, Java moss with them?
This is hornwort.
Wormwood. Oh, okay.
I'm having a hair algae infestation, unfortunately. These are just some platies. More platies. My least killifish colony.
Nice.
My red corals. And then in here, I like to throw in pregnant females with all of this. These are artificial plants. I only tank, but I like that. It enables me to just take any pregnant female and then put them in there. And then they give birth all the time in there. And then I take the pregnant female out and have like 50 fry in there.
Lots of babies, right?
And then in here, I'm breeding shell dwellers.
Oh, how nice! Fry. Wow, very cool. I was looking at some video recently of the floor of Lake Tanganyika, and that's exactly what it looks like. It's just a solid bed of snail shells.
Yes, I tried to replicate that.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And in here, I'm just culturing Daphnia. I just started the colony. I literally just went out like 2 days ago.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. That's such an exciting and important thing to do.
And then in here, I have blackworms I'm culturing. Very small, I'm starting off. Good job. Yeah. And then in here, I have just a bunch of guppies, my pink guppies I've been breeding for a while. I just throw them in here.
Pretty.
Yeah. And then down here are some peacock African cichlids. These are where my coals also go. Like if my good eyes have like bent spines, like the Friaborn or anything, I put them in here.
Okay.
These guys. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
How many tanks do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But I used to have 16.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
Thank you.
That's really exceptional with the goody eye. They're not. It's not that easy to do that, to really get goody eye going. But
definitely.
Quite well.
Definitely. I changed the water. You know what? One reason I changed my water so much that I have to is when I want to catch the pregnant females. This is 110 gallons. No way am I catching them with this and that. I have to lower the water to like right about here to where it's so low that I can scoop the females up with the net.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
So.
Really good.
And then.
Where do you live? Where are you?
New York, USA, New York.
Where? New York City or upstate?
New York City, Manhattan.
Oh, really? In Manhattan? Wow.
Yes.
How neat. Are there? I've been wanting to get out and visit shops in New York. Are there still good shops in New York City? It's been years since I was there.
To say, here and there, but you still have to be careful. A lot of shops still, have fish. They don't. You can tell when fish are not looked at, like when they have ick. I take the advice, if one fish has ick in a tank, then all of them have ick.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Here and there, but the smaller shops are better than the big chains, I would say.
Well, that's always true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very nice.
Thank you. Oh, and then down here, I like platies. I don't know. I'm currently breeding some blue wag platies, and then I have a couple in here.
Okay. Yeah, I got platies too. I like platies too.
And they have great genetics. It's like I haven't had many calls.
Yeah. Platies and mollies. And of course guppies.
Yes. And in here I just have least killifish. They breed like crazy in here. It seems like there's no fish in here, but I promise you there's hundreds. There's like
Formosa, it's a tiny fish. Where did you get them?
I ordered these from eBay. I started with 6 and now I have hundreds.
Okay. It's a wonderful little teeny tiny fish.
Yes. I don't even think they're so small. They're tiny. It's the smallest fish I've ever had.
The males are like half an inch.
Yeah, and the females are always pregnant. I mean, always pregnant. I swear I have a birth every day in this tank.
That's
always
true.
Pregnant. And I think that least killifish, unlike like guppies, like they don't release all of their fry at one time, so it's like
exactly
constantly.
Right. Yeah, they're spawning every day. What a great collection!
Thank you. Yeah, it's in the. I'm obsessed with life.
Is it Degarus? How do you say your first name?
Oh, Degarry. It's Degarry in French. Yeah, but
Degarry. Wow.
Yeah.
Of war. Degarry. Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah. You come on back. Doing us what you're doing. Come on back.
Okay, of course.
I want to keep track of you.
Okay.
Take care. Bye for now.
Too.
Thank you.
All right.
Very nice. Art of Critters. Let's see. Bon oui. Cornwall, shrimp are like piranha. Oh, Darbwire. Other fish product idea. Dissolving packets with your supplement that can be pushed under the sand for established tanks. Freezing and water melts where I got it under. True enough. Yeah, we need to find a way to work on that. A dissolving packet. Like a gel pack. Huh. We'll get Brenda working on this. She's the genius with packaging. She packages and sells all manner of things. Dissolving packets like the soap container. What are they called? That the big ball that has soap in it that you throw in the washing machine that dissolves. Very nice. Erie is going to patent it. Cornwall, they sell the packets in UK angling fishing shops. Use them for getting fishing bait to the bottle. Interesting. Capsule pills. Well, like root tabs. Yeah, that's kind of small though. We need something bigger. Something that'll hold like an ounce or two. A gel cat or a gel, like a gel pack, like some kind of a. That's actually a really, really good idea, and would allow us then to get nutrient into a substrate without affecting the water column. So if you did that, if you have gravel, put some of those in the gravel and then cap it with sand. That would do it. NC is here. Hello, NC.
Hello,
Look
Father
at
Fish.
this. Look at this.
So I'm back at the fish store as usual.
Right. Well, I didn't think that was yours yet. Are you going to get any axolotls?
Soon. When I get the 40-gallon, I'm getting.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So today we're gonna do a little feeding.
Oh, wonderful.
So we can.
Earthworm. Good.
Yep. So everyone at home can see how remarkable creatures these guys are.
They are indeed.
Look at that.
Got them. They suck them right up. Now, he's eating the whole worm. Mine will not eat the whole worm. I have to cut it up for him.
Oh.
And they're pretty big.
These guys are about that big.
6-8 inches. Mine are the same size, I think.
You just gotta keep, pushing the food. This guy's turn.
Look at that. Now, these are blind creatures. Their native environment is underground caves, underground lakes. They come from a single lake under Mexico City.
Lake Sochimilco.
Yeah, I think they're extinct in their natural environment now, but they're in such huge numbers.
Oh, that guy missed it. Let me get it.
They could be returned if that environment ever got cleaned up. There are enough of them now bred in captivity to be able to replenish that. They are actually a salamander that is found all over the southern states of the U.S. down into Mexico and Colombia.
Yep, so shop's doing fine. Everything's normal. You can see this guy's still gobbling up his worm.
Very nice.
And I just want to say prayers to Dina, and we love Dina.
Yes, indeed. We certainly do.
Basically, I brought him some guppy colonies for them. And
very cool.
They got I was sorting out like shrimp today, but let me see.
Such a neat shop.
Here's the guppies. This is one of the guppy colonies.
I have, I don't know whether that's me or him, but we just lost NC. Give him a check. Yeah, looks like he's not coming back. I think we lost him. See, I've still got him down below. If he comes back up, I'll pull him back up. See if he's able to get live again. Looks like he's frozen. Okay, I'm gonna. I think he's gone. Daniel Ingalls, you can have the headache back. The internet back, too much headache. Oh, I know. The new coffee Viagra. Here, it keeps your cookies hard. What are you talking about? Coffee Viagra. Arto FC, Art of Critters. It says, who is this? Alexander.
Hey,
Hello.
how you get on?
How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Nice to see you.
Good, good, good.
What you got to show us?
So I'm getting some seems to be a problem with this.
Well, we have you. I can see you. You just went dark. There's the fish tank. Can you get some light on it? It's going dark.
There we go. Yeah, is that good?
It's way too dark.
Oh, sorry. Put up a bit more. Is that okay?
That's good. Yes.
Yep. So I have 5 gold panda mollies and 5 auto sinklets in there.
Very pretty tank. What size tank is it?
That's a 90 liter, which I think is, what's 90 liters in gallons? You guys use gallons.
About
25
6.
gallons.
Is that right? Very nice.
Yeah. It's a
90.
tank with aqua soil, and I'm pumping in CO2. It's my first tank.
Okay.
Probably around 3 months old.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, 3 weeks old, excuse me. So I'm kind of wondering what to do with it. I was looking at your videos, they're very interesting. Your channel is very interesting. I was thinking of capping it with sand.
You have if you put it in slowly, a little bit at a time, it looks like you have a carpet plant growing in there.
Yeah, Monte Carlo. It's not
Monte
doing too
Carlo,
well, surprisingly.
okay. So put sand in it slowly and just a tiny bit at a time, and let it fall down among the roots. And that Monte Carlo will grow up. You'll be able to get the substrate deeper and still be able to keep that carpet.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking about actually taking it out. The Monte Carlo at the front doesn't actually look too good in person.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, if you can kind of roll it up, put the substrate in, I would drain it if you're going to do that. Roll it up, drain it all the way down, put a dirt layer in, cap it with sand, and then you can put that Monte Carlo right on top of it.
Would the aqua soil not be a good dirt layer substitute for a dirt layer?
Okay. If you should add to it, or where are you located?
I'm in Ireland.
You're in Ireland. We have a supplier in Scotland who can supply the supplement, which is really all that you need.
Okay.
And you could add that in, and then add that right into the aqua soil, and make it a little deeper, and then cap it with sand. It is important to cap it with sand because that holds all the nutrients in the substrate. Otherwise, they wash out into the water column.
Well, that's what's happening now, and my pH has dropped right down. It's probably down below 6.4. I don't even know.
Wow.
The test strip doesn't have it any. It doesn't go any lower, so I'm quite worried about that, which is why I'm thinking of going with a sand cap to lock in those nutrients.
It's a good idea. Contact if you go on the fatherfish.fish, you'll find the link for everything there. You'll be able to get that in a few days. Yeah.
Okay.
She can ship that right over to you.
Yeah. And I'm going to put in a sorority of female Siamese fighters.
Oh, nice. If you're going to do that, put one male in with them.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. He will spawn with them. You'll get some spawn. The fry probably will not survive, but you will get some spawning activity.
Yeah. All right. I thought like they went at it after they mated. Like
no, that not really. In a tank like that, they can escape. They can get out of the way. There's enough cover there for them to not be beaten up.
Yeah. So I'm going to keep the CO2 going indefinitely, I think, because a lot of those plants are going to turn bright, going to turn red.
Okay. See how it goes. It'll be interesting to see how it does. Yep. I'll be very interested to see what you manage to do with this. So that'll be fascinating. So make sure you come back and show us as
Will do.
you develop it. Thank you, Alexander.
Thank
Happy
you for
to
having
meet
me.
you.
Take care.
Thank you. Very nice. Ugh. What else is going on here? Shine on. Shine on. Can I pay through Super? No, please don't. Um, YouTube takes 30% of that. So I will wind up with substantially less than otherwise. If you can get on the store, you can make the donation through the store. There is right at the top of the product list is a dollar sign. You can donate through that dollar sign in $5 increments up to whatever amount you want to you want to put in. So you can do it that way. Use the dollar sign on the Shopify account, the Father Fish store. And if you can't find the link for that, it is at fatherfish.fish. So go to fatherfish.fish. Want to make sure everybody who is looking for plants this weekend takes advantage of the opportunities and the sales that we have at Shopify. There are a lot of really, really excellent sales going on, not just a few, a lot of new packages. We have cryptocorinne available in a package deal. You get, I think, I don't remember. I think it's 4 varieties of 2 each or 2 varieties of 4 each. I don't remember. But crypt is a wonderful plant, and as always, just a beautiful standalone plant in particularly a smaller tank. Lots of swords, lots of val, all kinds of bulb plants, specialty packs, rooted plant packs, and of course our ever popular stem plant pack, which contains 16 different varieties of stem plants. And you can order stem plants, in certain species of stem plants as a package deal. So there are lots of options. Check out the Shopify store. It's at fatherfish.fish. Right at the top, click on the store, and it'll take you right in. We've been working on trying to make that home page easy to negotiate and navigate. I think you'll enjoy it. It demonstrates how much is going on with Father Fish as well. It's really, really exciting. NC is a young fish keeper. Lush, yes, he's how old is NC? 14, 15, 15, I think. Vanoksky is here. Hello, Vanoksky. Nice to see you. You're a good Irishman. Yup, Alexander. Cornwall. Yeah, he picked up on that too. Yeah, really. But you can do that easily on Shopify. Just click on the dollar sign, and it allows you to buy to pay in $5 increments, and I'll know what that is. Who's this? The prodigious is up. Hello, hello.
What's up, guys?
Nice to see you.
Hold on, let me mute the TV.
We're hearing ourselves. Why am I not? Can't get this to move.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So I just want to give you guys a little update. This is the tank now.
Absolutely.
They've been eating the plants a lot.
Now, what do you have in there? I forgot.
I just put a guppy in there. I think she just gave birth because her gravid spot's gone.
You think the guppies are eating the plants?
No. But her gravid spot's gone. I think it's these ones right here, the Corys. I got some cichlids in now. 2 cichlids.
What kind?
I think they're albino dwarfs.
Okay.
And then I seen my pleco chewing on the plants. My bristle
That could
nose.
be. That could be.
Okay. Well, other than that, everything's fine. Like
Wonderful. Well, it looks great. You're doing
Yeah.
well. Everything looks healthy.
great.
Nice.
I did have some questions about the cichlids. Like,
Sure.
are they supposed to be so twitchy? Like,
Well, I don't know. What do you mean?
when I feed them, they like jump all around. Like, I don't want to say jump, but they swim pretty erratically.
Only when you feed them.
When I feed them, or like when we try to come up to the glass and stuff.
It's
But
probably
I did buy them like half a week ago. So
well, it's
I don't know.
probably normal behavior, unless you see something else going on. If they're doing it situationally rather than constantly,
Okay.
if it's circumstantial, it's likely behavioral and,
Oh,
and
okay.
not a function of disease or parasite. Twitchy is it gets my attention because if a fish is twitching, very often it has parasites. But
Oh,
that's not what that sounds like.
okay.
But
Yeah,
do
no, they're more like
keep a close eye on them and see. Just make sure you don't see little spots on them.
okay. I don't know if you could see my pleco in there, but that's his cave.
Okay.
He doesn't really come out now, except for the night.
They
And
are
then the
so
slugs there by.
yeah, right. Nice.
How big are these ones supposed to get?
That's about it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Inch and a half, 2 inches tops. Very
Okay.
small fish.
Yeah. Do you have any suggestions?
No, I think you're doing fine. You could add some sand to it. Maybe half an inch to an inch of sand.
Okay.
You might like the black sand, or
I think. See, I've been looking at the sand, and I think I want black sand on top.
I think it would look cool. I think it would kind of fit your motif in there.
Right?
Yeah,
Thank you.
They have it at Tractor Supply.
Oh, I have. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's called blasting sand.
Bet. I'm gonna go get it.
Yeah,
and then
and
that's our beta.
it's in a couple of different textures. Just be careful when you get it that you're getting what you want. They have a coarse, a
Okay.
fine, and the super fine. And any
So
of them
for
will
the
do.
super
They're all
fine,
okay.
would it be bad for this type of filter?
I like it personally.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I don't.
Yeah,
mess
it'll
up anything.
help. It'll help. The other thing you could do in there is then begin really working on getting a food web built, getting leaves and some
Oh,
native.
I actually put the leaves on the bottom, like in here.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you can see that one.
Yeah,
But they're all like, it's all around like that. I
Well,
started
that's
doing
good.
that with the leaves.
that's good. You need them on top too because there are microscopic animals that feed on them. That
Oh.
that
Is that what these little white things are? There's like
Well-
little white dots everywhere.
probably, and that's what
Okay.
they're looking for. That if you put the leaves where they can get to them, they will be able to feed on those leaves,
Bet. Okay.
and then the small fish will eat them.
That's perfect.
Nice.
That's great. I'm gonna start putting them in here.
Cool. Looking good.
Thank you. And then I don't know if you can really see him, but he's right there. Your favorite banjo catfish.
Oh, how neat.
Alrighty, Father Fish. I'll
Thank,
catch you later.
well, thank you. Okay. Take care.
Thank
Bye for now.
you. Bye.
Oh,
Do this.
awesome. Very nice. The prodigious one. Thank you again. Let's see what else we got here. Blue-tailed goody eye. Nice fish, isn't it? DeGare says they need a lot of food. I think that's probably a real key to keeping goody eyes, to feed them heavily. I've had them a few times. I tend not to feed heavily, and I've not done as well with them as I would like to have. And that may very well be why. Yes, pineapple. The stem plant deal is all you would need for a 30-gallon. It would be adequate. It'll be a good starter bunch for a 30. And did I give you a wrench? Did I do that? Yes, I did. But Great Lakes saw someone use filter media to weigh down, make it easy to keep plants down in the substrate after planting. Interesting. Interesting. Shine on. Shine on is suggesting some rooted. In a 30, I would agree. Some Vallisneria would be good. Okay, get a group of Vallisneria along with the stem plant pack. That'll be a good mix. They'll do well together and you'll get really good growth that way. Stan Pittman. Bernardino Torres. Can I put a betta in a father fish tank? Absolutely. Okay, you can get a wrench too. Get that done. Yeah, you certainly can. I have bettas in a lot of my tanks in the shop. Remember, there was a young man who had a tank full of bettas a month or so ago, and he shipped them to me. I traded them for plants, and he shipped them to me, and I am amazed to this day at the glorious color of these bettas. They're all different. They're absolutely stunningly beautiful fish. Just really amazing, impressive fish. I normally don't like that kind of fish because of the lack of patterning, but these are so remarkable with such tremendous diversity. They're really very, very pretty fish. You see them pop up in videos occasionally, and I'll be sure to try to include more. Better Great Lakes. I got 3 new tanks. Any suggestions for a fish in a 20 long that aren't beginner fish? Gee whiz, there's so many options. Gobies are always nice. I've got about 5 or 6 different species of gobies. There are a lot of tetras that are, oh, I'll tell you what, rainbows. In a 30-gallon, a 20 long, some rainbows. They're a fish that gets 3 to 4 inches, pretty good size. They move around a lot. They're very colorful. It would not take many to really flesh out that tank. 3 or 4 would be more than enough. how many female betta in a 3-gallon tank? You could do half a dozen. I would do probably 2 or 3 more if you want. It doesn't, you're not really going to stress them because they're air breathers. They're not dependent on the oxygen level of the water. They come to the surface to breathe. So you can have more of them in a tank. The big tank. That was it. That was not John. That was a young man who died in a car accident. Uh, a man I was very close to. I really felt like I was a father to him, and he was, in many ways, deeply troubled, and wound up running into the back of a bus and killing himself. Very, very sad. Just a vigorous, intense, brilliantly attractive, strong, vital, tall, good-looking guy who just struggled to do anything meaningful with his life. Always wanted to, and never seemed to manage to pull it off. And then he died. It was really quite sad, and just kind of broke my heart because I I needed to make up with him. We had kind of been on the outs for a little while, and he died in the middle of that. It just probably more than anything else really broke my heart to having lost him. Erie. Who else? Heart of critters. Keep a betta with my mossy frog. Life sure is a bumpy road. It sure is. What else is going on here? Ross's board says you can put anything in a father fish tank apart from plastic plants. Well, you can put them in there too, but you won't get a certificate of approval unless you're awfully artistic. Alrighty. So again, make sure you guys get over to Shopify. Let me see if I can post that link. If I can do that. Whoops. Wrong link. Doobie-doo. Let's try this one. The fatherfish.fish link. Well, there it is. I mean, it is what it is. That's fatherfish.fish. And right at the top is I can show you this. Tangled up here. Well, I'm really tangled up. I'm going to get this untangled. In a sec. One second here. There we go. This is the home page of fatherfish.fish. See right there. And if you click on the Fatherfish Discord or the Fatherfish store, click on the store, and it brings up the store, and then you can go and you can click on any of these. The catalog right here at the top where it says catalog product, scroll down, there's the $sign first thing. Click on that, and it allows you to reimburse in $5 denominations. So that's how you do that. Real simple. But these are some of the deals we have. We have a specialty plant pack, which has 18 varieties of anubias, ferns, mosses, bulbs, floaters, all kinds of sea-free hardy plants. And then soil for a 10-gallon, a 29, and a 55-gallon tank. And that's a complete soil that contains everything you need, with the exception of the sand to cap it. I don't sell sand because it would cost more to ship it than you can buy it or collect it locally. So there are those items, and there's the 29. It's a crit pack, rooted plant pack. We have gift cards. You can just send a gift card to someone, and so many things. Just kind of on and on. Stem plant deal, 16 bunches. There it is, only $59.95. And this is the booster for the soil, Success Soil Booster, which is treats 100 gallons, $29.95. We have jewelry. We have there's some of the jewelry. We have all kinds of plants. We have arts and crafts. We have T-shirts, just everything imaginable. Come on over and check out the Fatherfish store. It's amazing. Let's see if I get this thing aimed right now. Probably don't. Oh. That's all right. Step up. Ugh. Feel like I'm sitting in a hole. Right. Out of the first, Nubia's head and budge. Plastic bunch of huge. You go, Erie. D795. Thank you. CX9R. Appreciate it. Let me take a look. I can look at this. D795. It's a draft. 795. Oh, that's the invoice, right? We found the invoice. Very good. Dexter Angeles. How hard is it to grow corals in a saltwater aquarium? It's pretty easy to grow soft corals. Hard corals are another matter. You need to have a very strong source of calcium going into the tank on a routine basis. But soft corals, if you stick with those, they're really pretty easy to grow. It's not a problem at all. Heart of Critters. Are we planning on shipping to the USA? Well, who are you talking to, Heart of Critters? Why are my fish swimming on their side? I don't know, but if you come into the shoal, the Fatherfish shoal, we can take a look at that and help you work out what the issues are. If you have those kinds of problems that are going to require some investigation and some study, come on over to the Father Fish Shoal. You'll find it right where we just went, at fatherfish.fish, right at the top of the page where it says Father Fish Shoal, the Discord channel. Click on that and come on in, and you'll be able to talk with someone. Someone will be designated specifically to work with you to try to figure out what's going on with your fish, what the problem is, and what you can do to fix it. Issues like that take some time and effort to figure out. And that's really why we created the Discord, so we would have the time and the resources to be able to spend with you, to look at your tank, to talk with you about it, and to really get into an in-depth evaluation of what's going on, so that the advice that we offer, or the understanding that we mutually come to, will be beneficial for you. Daniel says Father Fish ships in the U.S. Yeah, I'm shipping constantly. I ship over 100 orders a week. Shipping all the time. Every day I ship. Thank you, Zios. That's very nice. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Joshua Eustace. I was wondering, can you mount an orchid over an aquarium and have the roots in the water? The roots don't want to go in the water. They will rot in the water. They're really not roots. There are some orchids that have both roots and tubers. Some of the ground orchids actually have roots, but you can suspend them over the tank, and the humidity coming off of the tank will be very beneficial. Yeah, I do ship all over the U.S. U.S. and territories. I ship to Guam, Hawaii, Alaska, and Puerto Rico. Alexander Bodenko. Dear Father Fish, I've been following you for a long time and established a natural tank, but unfortunately, I'm having a hard time keeping live plants. They die fast and not growing at all. Probably your soil is depleted. You might consider purchasing some of the supplement and freezing it into cubes and getting it into that substrate. We were just talking about that a little bit ago in terms of figuring out a way to encapsulate that so that it could be slid down into the soil. I rather believe that your soil is depleted. The supplement will overcome that. You could put root tabs in it. Only do it one time. If you do it more than once, you will break down the ability of the plant to function and grow normally. But it may provide the immediate nutrient that your plants need right away. So that's a possibility as well. Let's see, Joshua, let's get you a wrench. The supplement is a better option than fertilizer tablets. And a Tanrojan planted tank give you a wrench as well. Cinnamon, hello, Cinnamon. Yeah, I do have dirt for 55. Cinnamon, yes. You can do either. The dirt for 55 is cheaper than buying 220s or 225s. So that is listed on the website fatherfish.fish, and then going into the Shopify, and you'll be able to find it there. It's right at the top. Stan Pittman, Alexander, check your hardness. He thinks it could be too hard. Certainly possible. Private YouTuber saying thank you to Stan. Well, you're very welcome, Tom. What else is here? Pedro Aramburo, 40-gallon breeder of a 20 tall with pork chops and peacock gobies. Would like a tank with a bit larger fish community. The 40-gallon breeder is a great tank for as a community tank, particularly for small fish. You could have 100 small fish in a 40-gallon breeder. It's got lots of depth front to back. It's 3 feet wide. You don't need the depth top to bottom. Just load it up with plants, and you'll be amazed how many fish will be able to thrive in there. It's a really excellent sized tank for a community tank for small fish. Let's see. Getting Pedro a wrench here. African cichlids. I would not do Africans unless you want to do Tanganyika and do like shell dwellers. Like the shell dweller tank we saw a little while ago. That would work pretty well. But if you want a community tank, for Africans, you need a minimum 55. I would not try to keep a community of Africans at anything smaller than a 55-gallon. That'll allow you to keep a dozen to 15 or so in pretty good shape. Head kill. Can I put tap water to top my tank? Yeah, generally speaking, your tap water is the safest water to use. You definitely want to do that routinely. What's going on here? There we go. Getting a wrench for head kill. Alexander, yeah, he put the organic potting soil and then sand. The potting soil has depleted. That's why we do that supplement in order to be able to provide nutrients that are going to last long enough for the tank to begin fully cycling and replacing nutrients as they're used up. Yeah, good point, Doom Pie. If you have not subscribed to the channel, be sure to do so. Otherwise, when you come back, you will lose your wrench. It won't be there anymore. We'll have to get that. We'll have to do another one. So be sure to. Well, you simply need to register as a subscriber. Subscribe to Father Fish. Get us up to 300,000. Our next goal is 300,000. It's going to take another 5 months to get there. We're doing about 5,000 a month. Greetings from Argentina, from Augustin Bonaveri. Thank you very much for all your teachings. Delighted to have you with us, Augustin. Dexter, do we need soil from mangrove forest? Top it up with 2 inches of sand to build a saltwater aquarium with salt corals. I'll tell you what, the mangrove, the very best saltwater soil in the world comes from mangrove forests in the northwest of Australia. Mangrove forests in general have the richest soil of any other saltwater body of water. So yes, absolutely. Collect some of that, cap it with sand, and cap it with native sand. In other words, go to the beach and get sand, put 2 to 3 inches on top of that soil, like an inch of soil or a little more if it's a bigger tank, and 2 to 3 inches of sand on top of that 1 to 2 inches. You can even mix it a bit. It'll work out really well, and will create a very, very strong, healthy saltwater environment. It's really an excellent way to proceed. I should have someone dig up some mangrove soil and ship it to me. We do have some mangroves here in Maryland, I think. I'll have to look into that. Not in saltwater though. We have freshwater, and I think they're not mangrove actually. I think they're cypress. We have mangrove cypress. I mean, freshwater cypress. That's in some swamp areas. I don't think there are any mangrove in Maryland. The bush that I put in the big Amazon flood tank is marsh bush from the Chesapeake Bay that died many years ago and has been beached for Lord knows how long, 20 years or more. So I was able to pull it out, bring it back, and establish it in that tank. It's doing pretty well. Oh, armbruster's right there. Yeah, Adams could do that. Yes, absolutely. That would be perfect, Adam. Thank you. Hope that if someone chip you some. Yeah, that is a great idea. It would help me get the saltwater back up. Somebody asked me about the saltwater tank, the big one. We broke it down. And we broke it down for a couple of different reasons. It did crash. We had a power head go out, and it was a critical power head. And in a matter of hours, everything was set. It happened overnight. We cleaned it out, let it sit. It cleared up. We could have put things back in it, but the more we thought about it, it's the major tank in the shop, the biggest tank we have. It's only a 120, but it's the biggest one we have, and we're strictly freshwater. We're not doing any saltwater sales, any saltwater tanks. There is a very high quality saltwater shop within 10 miles of us, so it doesn't make much sense for us to try to do that. So we decided to not do that. We took the water out, refilled it, kept all of the rock, which included some unique bay rock that's a compressed clay material, just really a remarkable soft rock, which we're going to get more of, but there is a nice amount of it there. We got it set up and are putting Africans and some other larger fish in that tank. I noticed today a crab. There is a crab alive and moving around in that tank. A little one, he's about an inch long. Um, just really kind of surprised me because that tank went through a complete breakdown. We didn't take the sand out. It was under the sand, obviously, and it survived now in the fresh water, which is very hard. We didn't because we didn't drain it. A certain amount of that salt water remained in there, and I guess it's enough salinity to be able to keep it going. These frags, these crabs manage well in fresh water, so it's not too much of a surprise. It was just a surprise to see that anything lived through that catastrophe we had. Sun and Moon is asking how I'm doing today. Well, other than a little nose problem, I'm doing pretty well. I finally have been able to get back on my protein diet. I've been solid on it all day. I've got my commitments lined up. I'm thinking about what I'm eating. I'm pursuing it properly and appropriately. I have to decide what I'm going to do about a snack or something after the show is over. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I do have lunch meat and some other bacon type things I can that I can fix. I have cheese, I have eggs, so I've got some things I can do. So anyway, I'm back. I'm back on it. Back into committing to lose that next 20 pounds to get me down to 200. That's really my goal. Yellow rice shrimp. We're doing shrimp really effectively. I was talking with Grant Eder at the Keystone Clash. He came up from Florida to sell shrimp. About that, I've been to his place. He does a lot of outdoor tubs, and he's able to actually keep shrimp spawning year round in Florida in these outdoor tubs. They get fairly cold. I mean, they'll get down into the 50s, maybe even a little lower, but it doesn't bother the shrimp. They can handle cooler temperatures. We have vats in the 60s and 70s, and they're doing better than in the heated vats. So a large container, a dirted substrate, lots of plants, and if you put snails in, then that waste will feed the shrimp. You can also put leaves in a food web that feeds the shrimp as well. There are a lot of natural things you can do there. So the shrimp can live alongside the other macrofauna in that food web system. Obviously, fish will eat them. So you can't do this with larger fish. Even smaller fish will eat the baby shrimp. So you really can't keep fish with shrimp if you're trying to spawn them and get them growing out. A few, maybe not a lot. I mean, a few fish, not a lot. Oh, let's see. Any tips keeping shrimp? Christian B. Severums. Severums certainly do rearrange a tank. No question about it. There is a way to control that. If you put the dirt down and then cap the dirt, put a half an inch of sand over it, and cap that with a quarter-inch grid or half-inch grid, whatever it is. I think it's probably 3/8 inch. This is the grid that's used in drop ceiling as a tile to cover lights. It's 3/8 in little tiny squares. It's a plastic grid. Comes in 2 foot by 4 foot, or maybe, yeah, I think it's 2 by 4. Is it that wide? I think it is 2 foot by 4 foot. You can cut it easily and put that then on top of the dirt, and then cap that with 3 to 4 inches of sand, and plant the plants fairly deep into the sand. Generally, they're not going to rip the plants up. You want to keep the plants over to one side, put your rock work to the other side. They will dig out around the rock work. They will pile up sand around the plants. So that actually will work out pretty well. You'll be able to keep plants going in it, and they're not going to dig down into the dirt. So the whole system just works a lot better that way. Can water primrose be used as a floating plant? I don't know. Cinnamon, water primrose. Let me see if I can do a little research on that. I would say so. It may need, yeah, it has the yellow flower. It's a pond plant. I believe it is a stem plant that will send down roots into the sand, but then grow up onto the surface, and will cover the surface and have these pretty little yellow flowers. So yeah, you can do it. I think you need to plant it though. I think the roots need to go down into the soil in order for it to really be able to live well. But it comes up to the surface. A lot of stem plants do this. They actually want to grow out of the tank or out of the water. That once they get up above water, then they really begin to grow more vigorously and will then flower. They're not going to flower underwater. The flowers in these stem plants, all that flowering always occurs above the water level. So many of the stem plants are in fact bog plants that start out in the water, grow out of the water, and flourish above the water level. Some as floaters, and some simply as plants growing up out of the water. So once they start getting to the surface, you don't want to trim them. You want to let them go. The difficulty with this is once they do that, then they're going to drop the leaves that are in the water, because those leaves are less productive to the plant than the ones that are above the water, which are able to take in more air and more sunlight, get more energy. So you will find stems then. So you want to do this in fairly discrete environments where you'll have them maybe in a corner growing out, and then something in front of them in the tank that's going to cover those single stems going up. Daniel Ingalls keeps cherry shrimp at a 15 with snails, getting to be a lot of microflora and fauna as well. Yeah, that's right. Baby shrimp are nearly microscopic. So small fish, even guppies, tiny fish like that are going to eat the baby shrimp. Absolutely right. Who is this? Bowie from Australia. Nice to see you. And we're going to make a moderator out of you somehow or other. Your name is not there. It's kind of funny. Sarah Montgomery, are there any plants that would grow in a brackish tank? Really good question. Nearly all plants will grow in brackish water. Swords, Vallisneria. Now, there are some that clearly won't. Crypts, I believe, will not. Anubias will not. Ferns will not. But most swords will, and most Vallisneria will. Those are really brackish plants. And many of the stem plants are also brackish plants. So there really is quite a large body of plants that will grow in brackish water. The best thing to do is to try and see. Get the stem plant deal. That gives you 16 different varieties. You can try some, set them up in a fresh tank, and then move a few over and see how they do. You can kind of go back and forth with it until you find a few that do well, and then ask us to ship you more of that species. And we'll be happy to do that. Earthworms as a staple diet for bettas. No, you really can't. The earthworm is too big. You need something much finer, much smaller. You can try red wigglers, but even they are really too big. You need something smaller. You need a cultured worm, like a white worm or that kind of thing. Or I'll tell you what's really effective is buy a few shrimp, like a quarter of a pound of frozen whole uncooked shrimp. Put them in the freezer, and then daily cut small pieces off and grind it into a pulp and feed tiny amounts of that. It's an absolutely perfect food and is precisely what the fish eat in the wild. Not shrimp per se, but invertebrates. They eat inverts. They eat little bugs and insects, and that's exactly what a shrimp is. So it's really perfect food for many, many fish. It's fat-free. It's an aquatic food. It's easy. It's inexpensive. There's no waste with it. The fish will thrive on it. Shrimp. Don't cook it. Don't blanch it. Just chop it up raw into tiny, tiny pieces. Emulsify it if you can. And feed that in small amounts to your fish, and they will absolutely thrive on it. Bob's saying he had success with Java fern in a brackish water tank. So there you go. There's fern in a brackish tank. Daniel says Java fern would survive a meteor strike. Likely. Bob chops up worms with a razor. You got to make them really tiny. You certainly can do it. It's you have to make sure you're feeding very tiny bits. Is the only issue. Goldfish. Is a father fish method good for goldfish? I'll show you some video of the tub, the 400-gallon tub we have. It has a lot of goldfish in it, a lot of smaller koi, and it is loaded with plants, and nothing is bothering the plants. I do put a lot of duckweed in it, which floats on the surface. That's kept down hard. There's no duckweed. We dump duckweed in it every day, and the goldfish eat it every day. So they're getting the plant that they need. They're getting the nutrient that they need without going after the plants and tearing them up. We really have not had a problem with it. But I've got a lot of plants in there. It's not a few. I'll do a video and show you. In fact, I think I can get my GoPro down in the water to be able to do some video of that. That'll be neat too. I'll try to get that this week. That'll be very cool. Rock piles. 3G is saying to private YouTuber rock piles. Would the shrimp trick work with bettas? I don't know what that's referring to. Cinnamon. Yeah, do try it. I'd be real interested. We have not carried it. It's a bog plant. We can get it. I haven't carried it, but if it works out well, I certainly could do that and would like to. It's a pretty plant. Can I take off the filter in my 3-year-old tank? What I would do if you've had it running constantly is just pull the filter material out of it and let it continue moving water. Moving water is really important. Moving water, it replicates the moving water of a stream. And what it's doing is it's bringing the water on the bottom up to the top so that you can get a CO2O2 exchange. Really important to do that. It doesn't work nearly as quickly or as effectively in a completely still tank. I like to have a little bit of moving water in all my tanks, and I do in all my tanks. Now, the only reason I don't do air stones is because sponge filters provide a little bit more biomaterial, biological environment in the nature of the sponge, and so it's adding to the biological matter, the biomass in the tank, which is beneficial. It also is reducing a certain amount of the particulate matter that is very, very fine, too fine to precipitate. There is precipitate matter that does not precipitate because it's lighter or it is the same density as the water. So it stays in the water column. And the sponge filter will pull that out of the water and capture it, such that after a few months, you'll find that that filter will be heavy with mud. You take it out, rinse it out, and put it back in. It does help keep organic material out of the water column that would otherwise not precipitate out. So I think it's highly beneficial in the tanks that we're creating. Moving water can be a problem for bettas. Yeah, that's absolutely true. You do not want fast moving water for bettas, even slow moving water. A bubbler from a sponge filter that's not blowing the water out of the tank will not cause enough turbidity, enough turmoil in the water to be a problem for bettas. Just like a slow boil, a slow kind of bubbling, and they'll be fine with that. It is difficult to keep a bubble nest going with any kind of bubbling going on. So if you're breeding the bettas, you want to turn off the filter and let it be perfectly still. The bubble nest will hold up better, and the male will be able to do better in managing those fry and the eggs once they're laid. So good point. George, hello, George. Does George have a wrench? I don't think so. Need to give George a wrench. Just got my plants from you 2 weeks ago in my tank. They're great and thriving. Wonderful. Glad to hear it, George. 40 the alpha. Can I take off my filter? Let me give you a wrench. We did deal with that issue. Daniel Ingalls, if you have certain big plants like Amazons, the goldfish can't do much because they're rooted so deeply they can't pull them out. That and Vallisneria also. They don't do much to Val. They will tear up the little tiny leaves off of a lot of the stem plants, because they want to eat plants, which is why the duckweed is so effective, because it's a mouthful. It's a perfect meal. They can eat that all day long, and the more you keep in there, the more they'll eat. So that's a pretty effective food for goldfish. Rasta Reptile Rescue. Thank you so much, Rasta. Just saw a red-tailed shark. Yes, you did. I think there's just one in here. I've got chromides. I have rainbows. These are millennium rainbows right out in front here. That's a pair, in fact. That's a chromide. The little ember tetra down there. You can get the light closer. See a little better. I did not run the algae scraper across. I've got algae over here. What is that? Oh, angels. The angels. Tell you what, let's put a little food in there. We can do that. This is golden pearls, which is pure shrimp. Pure dried shrimp. Golden Pearls is available through Brine Shrimp Direct. Blazin, 420 Blazin. Give you a wrench. And he said, I want to say thank you, Father Fish. You saved my first 4 platy I got 3 weeks ago. Fed him too much. Local fish told me exactly what I disregarded from you. Never again will I disregard your advice. Well, thank you, Blaze, and that's very kind of you. Austin Langlois. Biggest takeaway I got from you was to glorify leaves. Glorify leaves. Absolutely. Absolutely. Incidentally, there were a lot of comments about the AI leaves video. A lot of people were affronted by the AI. I found it remarkable that with a modicum of information, it produced text that was remarkably on target. So much so that I thought to post it. I also, one of the struggles that I have and many fish tubers have is to try to figure out how in the world to break through the restrictions that the algorithm places on us. There are probably 10 million fish keepers worldwide on YouTube. No more than 100,000. Well, I've got 275,000. Let's say no more than 500,000 ever know that Father Fish exists. Because the algorithm does not put the YouTube channels out beyond a rather restrictive population of viewers. So we're always looking for ways to try to break through that and try to reach people who we're not reaching. It is a near impossible task. And that was very much my intention with that video. Now, we're creating a new channel called the Natural Aquarium, and it's going to have a lot more of that kind of video, a more informational, less personality based, more broadly based natural aquarium kind of approach. and we'll see if that does the job. We'll see if that really can reach out beyond the essentially European and U.S. population that is currently the only population permitted to view these videos. So anyway, that was the rationale for it. I know there were people who were put off by it. It was certainly not done with an eye to put anybody off or to cheat or to do anything ridiculous. It's an attempt to get our story out to a wider audience, and we do sometimes things that seem like they won't work and don't work, and that perhaps is one. So I just wanted to clarify that a little bit. Philip Wyman, spreading the word to friends and family about Father Fish. And that really is the most effective thing that anyone can do is to share with people who would otherwise never know about, never hear about our channel or what we're trying to teach. The more you can share, the more we're going to be able to reach people who we're not now able to reach. We really depend on you to be able to do that. We can't do it. I can't do it. I'm locked in to the encapsulated, bordered and guarded territory that I've been assigned to. It's like I'm in YouTube jail, and I really cannot get out of that. The only way is for those people who are viewing these like you, who are appreciating them like you, to be able to share with people who have no knowledge of Father Fish or natural aquariums, to be able to come in and take a look, and then they share with their friends. And that's really how we grow. There is no other way to do it. That's the way it happens. Without your sharing, we absolutely cannot grow. So I put it to you, we are dependent, utterly dependent on our friends to make it possible for us to reach out to a wider audience, because you are in touch with that wider audience. Red-tailed sharks will jump. They also are a scaleless fish, so if they die, they tend to break down very, very quickly. And anything that dies in a tank, everything in the tank eats it instantly. Once a fish dies, it begins to deteriorate. Everything else that's in that tank takes a bite out of its carcass. I've seen in tanks a fish, a 1-inch fish, disappear in 15 minutes, down to the bone and then the bone, to completely disappear, be completely consumed in 15 minutes. So it happens very, very quickly. And that's a big part of the reason why very often a fish will disappear. It won't be on the floor, it will not have jumped, and you can't find it, and it's gone. It's because it died and was consumed. Daniel is leaving for the evening, going to the store. Well, thank you so much, Daniel. Nice to have you with us. Rasta says, your advice has made my Blackwater aquarium balanced right from the go, with 0 water changes, filters, lights, or heaters. It is pure nature, smells so nice, it's amazing. Well, good job, Rasta. Constantly telling people at my LFS to check you out. Yeah, those are the hard cases. Local fish store people they'll get a whiff of Father Fish and not want to come back and want to keep everybody else away from it, because they're not going to sell dry goods off the shelves to anybody who's following Father Fish. But they will sell fish. And if they focus on their fish and do a good job with their fish, they will sell more fish than any other store. So you might promote that way. Have them get plants in, have them get a wider variety of fish in, some other fish that are a little harder to find, more difficult to keep perhaps. Let them grow in that direction and away from all of the chemicals and all of the equipment that does nothing to help keep fish alive. Not long term. It may work in the short term. It does not work in the long term. It all breaks down. In time, it all breaks down. It may last a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, but it will break down. And when it does, it has the potential to kill everything in the tank. Had 2 people this week with a heater. They bought cheap heaters. I don't buy cheap heaters. I buy Haiger heaters. Haiger heaters are quality heaters that will not break down in the on position. I've had only one out of the 100 or so that I've used that did not work. It didn't heat. And I sent it back and they sent me a brand new one. I trust the Haiger heater. Haiger is a good company. It's a solid company. They do filters that are impressive, that are sturdy and that hold up. I'm not paid by Haiger. I'm not being supported by Haiger. I simply like their product. So there is that. Natural fish, naked fish, ZX9R. Yeah, it picks up on keywords like naked fish. Funny. Well, they do, yeah. It was just really kind of remarkable. And they did a really good job. The AI did a really good job describing what leaves do in a tank, that it's a nutrient. A lot of people don't get that. They get the decorative properties, but they don't get the nutritional properties. And they want to know when it breaks down, what do I do then? Well, what do you do when the fish food is gone? You add more food. You may not do it that day. You may do it a day or 2 or 3 days later, but you know that you're putting it in continuously. And it's the same with the leaves. You're adding them continuously over the long haul. So you want a big bag of leaves that you can put 2 or 3 in at a time once a week. Maybe a few more than that, maybe less than that. Track how much you have in there and how quickly it is deteriorating. And you want different kinds of leaves. Some leaves are eaten more quickly than others. Oak leaves last much longer than maple leaves or ash leaves. Fruit tree leaves are consumed very quickly. Almond leaves, mangrove, not mangrove, what's the other? The tulip tree leaves, any of the big dense leaves will last a very long time. It takes much longer for them to be broken down. Yet they provide unique nutrients. So you really need both. They're providing different nutrients for the plants as well as for the microfauna. They are what feeds the microfauna. So they are critical to being able to create that biomass that your small fish are going to be able to forage on. Fish stores should only sell fish, plants, tanks. The rest we can get from nature. Basic, well, there are some dry goods. There's some equipment. I appreciate lights. I appreciate heaters. I appreciate filters. These are technological pieces of equipment. I don't appreciate a lot of things like UV and CO2. I don't appreciate those because those are not beneficial. They're the opposite of beneficial. UV kills microfauna. That's its function. And so it's preventing you from having a really healthy, balanced tank. CO2 is providing a kind of nutrient that is better provided by the substrate through its own machinations, through its own processes. That substrate provides far more CO2 where it is needed at the plant root, not in the water column where it's not needed, where it's going to create algae problems. So there are some things that I think are counterintuitive, and those are two that on the surface may make sense, but when you dig into it deeper, you discover that, well, maybe not. Now, I know people do CO2 in order to get color, in order to get plant growth, and it will do that, but it is a short-term solution. That's going to be good for a year, absolutely at the most. At the end of that, it's just going to fall apart. It will not be able to survive indefinitely. It has a shelf life. It has a short-term life. You can do that as a decorative tank. You're not going to be able to do it as a long-term balanced natural environment. So I don't do that. I could do that. I'm not interested in doing that. I don't do that. Other people do. MD does that. He is utterly brilliant at it. I could not begin to match what he does, but it's not what I do. I do something completely different from that. Somebody suggested recently we do a collab between MD and Father Fish. I've talked to MD, and he respects what I do. I respect what he does. There is some crossover, frankly, not as much as you would think. But there is a lot of mutual respect. He's a profoundly effective fish keeper, aquarist, aquaculturist, and in point of fact, an artistic aquarist. I'm not. That's not what I do. All right. What else is going on here? Let's see. I think I'm keeping up. If I have left something, if I've missed something, post it again. I'm right down at the bottom right now, looking at at what's being posted right now. So if I've missed a comment or a question that you would like me to respond to, or that has been inadequately responded to, then please post again. Right now, while I got my eyes on the new entries. ZX9R loves undergravel filters. I used to have them a lot. I had a friend, one of the top professional aquaculturists really in the world, John Coleman, who was head of Shed Aquarium for years, worked in Spain at the Spanish aquarium, was one of the key keepers at London, at the London Park Zoo, the Lincoln Park Zoo, was that in Chicago, I guess. I met him retired in Florida, and we were close friends up until his death about 5 years ago. Did a lot of collecting together, a lot of traveling together. He was absolutely committed to undergravel filters. He was responsible for bringing the undergravel filter into the U.S. That was that was really his gift to the hobby. He discovered it at the in Gibraltar, no, in Spain, in Madrid, at the public aquarium in Madrid, where they first developed it in open systems. They're right on the Mediterranean, and they were running open systems through underground filters. He brought that back and applied it first in Lincoln Park and then at Shed, and it's used now in virtually all of the public aquariums. Um, None of them, to my knowledge, have taken the leap yet to natural aquariums. They're simply not set up to do that. Their aquariums are not permanent displays. They're displays that are broken down every year or so and changed to something else or whatever. So we have not been able to get the public aquarium on board with natural aquariums because they're just not equipped to be able to do it. But for a hobbyist, it is a simple and elegant solution that provides something in the way of a remarkably healthy environment that is very long lasting. So it's and that tolerates extreme indifference. It tolerates being ignored for lengthy periods of time with no ill effect. So it's really an ideal home type aquarium. Throwaway: will diatom surface algae affect photosynthesis of the Anubias? Is it getting on the plant? If it's getting on the plant, it certainly will, but it normally doesn't do that. It normally simply grows on the surface, and as you control nitrates with more plants, it will disappear. My opinion on bamboo. It's like a banana. Bamboo and banana are the same kind of plant. They're both wet soil plants. They're really not even bog plants, although they will survive in a bog. They're more a wet soil. They require a certain amount of they're heavy soil, but require a certain amount of water passing through. They stay damp, however, but they don't become they're not like mud. They won't grow in mud. They will grow in very wet soil. Both of them. They will not grow in an aquarium. They will last a while. Bamboo will last a while. Ultimately, it will drown. Psycho Plant Lady is here. She's alive. Let me get back over to see if she wants to come up. Probably not. Oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. 7:53. We got a few more minutes. Nice to see you, Dina. Glad you're better. Tarman. First stream I was able to catch. Well, glad you were here. We did get you a wrench. YouTube has not finalized it yet, but you've got it. Let's see. Let me try to jump down here. Bob S. Wouldn't a UG filter work without any water movement through the gravel? The problem is it's counterintuitive. It is pulling it is pulling nutrients through a rather coarse substrate, not a fine substrate, but a coarse substrate, and pushing them back out into the water column. Now, what happens over a period of time is that channels are created by the detritus that's coming into that gravel typically, and it plugs up those channels so that eventually the entire bed becomes solid with detritus and becomes essentially an earth layer. Typically, that's the point where whoever is maintaining that system tears it all out, breaks it down, and starts over. Rather than doing that, if you pull that tube out and put 2 inches of sand on top of it, you will have an absolutely beautiful deep substrate dirted tank complete with plenum. That will be enormously effective permanently as a deep substrate dirted aquarium. So the under gravel filter, if handled properly, becomes a dirted tank when it finishes doing what it is there trying to do, which is to capture all the dirt that's coming into it. When it finally captures it all and is merely blowing air out and pulling very little water through, then you take that tube out, cap it with sand, and plant your plants in it, and you're good to go permanently. It takes about a year for that to happen. Rocket Fin 313 wants to know, can I let me get his wrench here. Can I go without using a heater, filter, and aerator when set up a natural aquarium with the first? You can. I don't recommend it. It depends what you're putting in it. If you're doing natives and do them in small, that do like a few fish in a native tank, you certainly can do it and it'll be effective. If you're trying to do anything like a community tank with that's loaded with plants, you really ought to have more water movement. And if you put a tropical fish in it, you need to be able to maintain a stable temperature. So there are those kinds of issues. Five-gallon tank with a battery in it, BATT. Like to know if you can keep a pistogramma, a betta. Yeah, I don't say why not at 5-gallon. If you want them breeding, you probably will need to take the betta out because they'll want to keep it away from their nest. But if you have one betta and one apisto, I don't think they'll bother each other at all. I don't think there would be a problem. All right, boys and girls, we are down to it. Wrong statue behind you on your bookshelf. Yeah, it is. I've got a couple of them. Oh, this one's kind of heavy. Oh, it's hot too, sitting on a hot light. I've got another one. Where is it? Oh, let me get it. This one's been beaten up so often. That's kind of my favorite. It's got a hole in its head where it got knocked on the floor. It needs to go up here close to the jar. Here. I can't get StreamYard on my phone to work. You should. Oh, really? I've used it, I think. Been a while. I was having trouble earlier today getting Discord up on my computer. I had it on my phone. Couldn't get it on the computer. It wanted my password. And I don't have a password. It's long gone, long lost. I sent out the distress call to the manager of the site, and I think she finally got me on. So we're back in business. Throw away. Use a half foot of fine cotton sheets for the first chamber of my sump as filter material, backed up by bio balls on the second. Replace the cotton a few times a year. Sure, that's not an issue. Absolutely. Is it possible to keep lotus in a dirted tank? Yeah, you certainly can. Lotus gets kind of big. We have a dwarf lotus that works pretty well. The red tiger is a lotus, although that gets pretty good size. It's not like the 3-foot lotus leaf. So the red tiger lotus does very well. We have those for sale. In fact, we have a lot of bulbs and tubers for sale. How much longer? About 1 minute. We're down to it. Dexter has a wrench. Everybody got a wrench. All in, all good, all happy. We're done for the evening. We will see you Wednesday. Last Wednesday, we did an auction. We may do that again. It was great fun. Everybody really enjoyed it. So come on around Wednesday evening, and we may be auctioning off some plants, fish, who knows, whatever. Be nice to have you with us. Let's see if we can get our tune back up here. Oh, that's the old one. I wonder if I can do this. I have to go back.
Father.
I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty and feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home. I have traveled the world.
Good night, all.
But
Delighted to be with you.
Peace.
See you later.
Comes from watching my
Love you all.
As they swim about their home. My heart is happy and I am content to sit and watch them swim. I will not be alone while these fishies are in my home. When the sunlight shines upon them and their colors begin to glow, I am drawn into a world where my heart longs to go. I imagine scenes of beauty and feel the warmth of love. I love my little fishes as they swim about their home.